Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look what bike we have on the lift today. It's Bo's Bolt. And his forks suck, and we're going to make them not suck, right? Yeah. Why are your forks suck, bud?
They're a little sloppy and loose. And
that's what she said. Oh, that's what she said. Jesus. Okay, so your model?
2015 Bolt r-spec.
And it has stock forks?
Stock forks.
Turns out the stock forks on the Bolt r-spec suck. For Bo. That's our little maybe. So, what did we get to make them not suck as much?
A spring kit.
Brian, what's a spring kit do?
What Bo bought is a replacement set of progressively wound springs.
Okay, in English, what is that?
In English, a progressively wound spring is wound at a constantly varying spring rate from top to bottom.
Okay, nobody knows what that means. Some of you might. Today, we're gonna do another Bo Bolt video from popular demands. You guys seem to enjoy the Bolt videos. We are in the works of making this bike done for you, and we're getting close. So you guys know, like, when you get close to finishing something, you get amped to finish it. That's where we're at with Bo's Bolt. Today, Brian and Bo, again, because in Bo videos, Chase doesn't do any work, which makes everyone happy. I'm going to be filming. We've got a cool other camera that Luke will be on. Yep. It'll look good, and they're going to do the work. So, you guys ready to do the... I've done worse. You guys have fun and explain as we go. These are my favorite videos because, one, I don't have to do any work and I actually get to do what I love to do. And I just get to sit back and laugh as other people are told what Brian tells other people what to do. Bo, have fun, bud. Everybody, give Bo a like down below. So we need to up his you need confidence. Give him some confidence down below. Hit the like button if you are excited for more Bo videos. And we'll get started.
Those are loose, pinch bolts are loose, the brake caliper is off. Now we can take the axle out and slide the wheel out.
So what are you doing now, Bo?
Loosening the bottom triple pinch bolts. So I can take this out. I need to take this up. Loosen this up.
There you go.
What did he almost do, Brian?
He did not yet loosen the pinch bolt for the blinker. So if he loosened that second pinch bolt for the lower triple, the fork could have dropped, but the blinker would have stopped it from falling out. These things are rough, bro. Don't drip that shit on me. You don't have gloves on. in there, maybe half. This is just to flush the system. And we're just gonna. That was brand new oil. Let's see what it looks like coming out. It's pretty dirty. Let's take the whole thing. I'm going to try and double check and see which side of the progressive spring goes up or down.
And that's all the parts of your fork?
Now there's more stuff that's inside that's still bolted to the inside.
So we're not going to have to take anything else out just to switch out the springs, though?
Nope.
So that's all if
So
you're
if
switching
we were
your springs.
just replacing the springs, we've already went far further than we had to.
Did we have to take the oil out?
So that's why we went this much further, is to replace the fork oil.
So somebody at home just swapping springs out.
If they were
wouldn't
just
have had
doing
to-
the springs out, really all you have to do is loosen the upper pinch clamp and take the cap off the top of the fork.
Mm-hmm.
And then pull that stuff out very, very slowly, and then put the new stuff in and put everything back together.
So you wouldn't even have to move the forks off the bike.
No.
So what are you guys talking about?
To replace
So
the spacers.
this is the spacer that comes with the spring kit that he got.
Okay.
This is the factory spacer. This steel tube, but these springs are way longer
How is
than
that
the stock
a thing?
spring. So in combination, this spring and this spacer versus the combination of this spring and this spacer,
And then we just have to cut down.
and then this gets cut to fit. Man, that's not a great fit.
Ooh.
Top 5 things you don't want to hear a technician say. When your forks are apart on a lift.
This thing should probably be like another 3/4 of an inch in diameter.
Cool.
I mean, this will work.
But
There's no buts.
it felt like there was a butt.
The
Right?
the only issue is if this is out here.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But it won't be. It'll be here because it'll be under spring pressure the whole time. So it won't have time to like slide around anywhere. And that centers in the cap.
Oh, okay. I like
So
that.
the cap will hold this centered, so it'll sit in the center of the washer, so it's not going to wobble around.
Okay.
So it will work. It's just
Man, Bo, how worried are you getting, bud? How scary is that?
It's not the best thing to hear from a master technician.
So, Brian, what's the main difference? Because these springs look totally
they are
different.
totally different. If you can see how this is not actually a progressive spring, this is a dual rate spring.
Yeah.
And what that means is there's this section of the spring where the windings are this far apart. Each one is exactly the same distance apart. And then from here to here is a second winding where they're different. You know, these are all the same all the way through from here to here.
So how is that going to translate to the ride?
This will compress, boop, and once you compress all this stuff, then it has to compress that last little bit. So you kind of have that last little stiff portion at the bottom before you get to it bottoming out. Okay, 116 millimeters is the factory spec.
Thank you, Internet.
Okay, so let's go ahead and reassemble your fork. So just stand it up. Put your spring in it with the tight coils down. It's just going to drop. So
He'd
rest
give-
it on top of that.
He'd have the NTDO3. He'd be fine.
You trusted it in the hood?
No. I'm going to trust you in the hood, though.
Extend that all the way. All right, now drop the spacer in and the cap on top of it.
Alright, so now we look at the... What do we
All
want?
right, you got, is everything sitting?
Yeah, everything's setting.
And you want 1.5 inches from the rim to the bottom edge of that.
So we need to take off about a half an inch.
So we'll take off 1/2 inch and then we'll remeasure. Alright, you want to check to see how straight this is?
Yeah.
It looks pretty damn good to me. What do you think?
I like it.
All right, happy with that. Not sure how he did that, but it's short now. 1/4 inch.
What? How did we do that?
I don't know.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's 1/4 inch. So
Yeah.
we'll have to make them both the same.
How much is that going to change the ride?
Probably wouldn't be able to feel it.
So now we can reassemble this whole thing.
So what we need to do is compress the fork, take the spring and washer back out of it, fill it with oil, set the oil level, and then...
What kind of fork oil are we using? Does it matter?
How many ounces are in the small one?
The small one, 16.
Alright, so put the whole small one in the fork leg.
No pressure.
God damn it, stop saying it.
Complete loss of motor skill. Whatever you do,
You're
don't
gonna
drink
have to pump it a whole bunch of times in
Don't.
a second.
Bo?
I'm sorry, I'm thirsty.
Ooh, it's clear.
We could have just put water in there then.
It's the same. Give me a bartender pour, Bo. Come on. Give me some flair.
Nope.
Yeah,
Maybe
where's some of that Indian,
Come on, just give me a little
tea pour?
stream, dude.
No. I'm not gonna risk it for the biscuit.
I just need a little bit of light. Come on.
I got a water
There
over
it
there.
is. That's all I wanted.
Pump it and pump it up. Yeah.
Pump it louder.
Yeah. Louder! Pump it! Woo!
Can you guys shut up for a second? You're gonna do that until you can't hear bubbles in there anymore. The two of you, like fucking kids in a schoolyard razzing somebody that just shit their pants.
Wait, why am I the one that shit pants?
Completely relentless. There was
You were on my side and also not on my side at the same time. Little shitty McShit pants over here. Fucking stinky McPoo
What
pants.
happened? Did he tell you to shut up and pump the thing or what?
We all got in trouble. Yay! Full strokes, Bo. Full strokes.
Are you happy with that? Can you not hear any more bubbles? Alright, push it to the bottom and let it sit. There is a final oil level spec. They're going to tell you to put in so much oil and then pump it, you know, 12 times until there's no more air bubbles coming out of it, and they want you to compress the fork leg like it is, let it sit. Then you're going to measure down into the fork leg a specific distance. That is your final spec. So what I'm going to do is I have this this giant syringe, and I'm going to measure down the hose, the distance, and then I'm going to put a piece of tape on it, and I'm going to lower the hose into the fork, and I'm going to set that piece of tape at the top level of the fork tube, and I'm going to draw down the excess oil that's in there. It'll stand.
I know, but then that's when something bad.
But then what happens if Chase jumps on the concrete ground?
Huh?
Can you hand me the caliper? Measure the caliper?
Why?
Yes.
What's wrong with you? Who hurt you?
I'm measuring it here.
Okay.
You get it out of your system. You're like, all right.
Bo's over here worried about a damn earthquake in Georgia, but... Brian, is this a two-man tech job?
If it's not 2 men, then you need to have a vise to
Okay.
put it in so you can do this. A wise technician once told me that tight and too tight is broken. All right, so that's tight.
Mm-hmm. Those two tight.
Just tighten that one.
Gotta tighten that, yeah.
There you go. There's probably a spacer in there. You don't have to go crazy, so you just stick it up there and give it a little. Good.
Alright, so now.
Do all the same stuff to this side.
Guys, I think this sounds like a pure montage segment. Alright, so Brian, do your hand like this and say, play that beautiful montage music.
No. To the montage.
Wait, so is the job done?
Forks are done.
Forks are done.
You're done,
Bo,
man.
now you got to go ride it and get GoPro footage and let us know what you thought about it.
Time to go for a ride. We're going to cut the GoPro footage of Bo riding the I'll Make You Moto vlog as you think about it. And that'll be the end of the video, and you can do the outro.
Alright, so first things first, the stock springs. Not my style. For most people, they'll do just fine. I'm a bit particular. I've been riding around now for about 35 minutes. Holy crap. The bike feels planted. It feels responsive. It digs into turns. It eats up bumps. So like the biggest problem with the stock springs, for me, was going over bumps. And in Atlanta, it's pretty much inevitable that every road you drive on is a steaming pile of crap. So in the stock springs, what ends up happening is you hit that first bump, the springs start reacting, they start compressing. That by the time I hit the next bump, I felt like I was taking notches out of the spring each consecutive bump. So what ends up happening after about like 4 or 5 of those bumps in a row, starts feeling like there's no suspension on the bike. These springs, however, but the few times I got to be able to dig into a turn, like, oh my god, it was just solid. Hit the bump, you're still locked in, it's back to its 0 point, if you will, before the next bump hits. This is exactly how I wanted my bike to feel. I could have spent $1,000 on Olin, or $300 on a cartridge kit. Honestly, starting here, I feel like that would have been a waste. Hot dog, man. I love it when a plan comes together. We'll put a link down below for these. If you've got a Bolt and you don't like the way the front end is behaving, throw a couple of those Baron progressive. I don't like that they called them progressive. It was clearly a 2-stage. And I think as the skies open up just a little bit, that I'll go ahead and call it there. I appreciate you guys listening to me ramble through. I don't do this. This is not a thing I do, so it's a weird territory for me. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe for more motorcycle content here on the Chase on Two Wheels YouTube channel. And that'll do it for me. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace out. Hey, Outdoor Crew, what is the mod you did to your bike that changed it the most? The characteristics of your motorcycle the most? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to put OC next to it so we know who's who. And we'll see you on the flippity flop. Later.